Hi guys, good evening. Wish you all a Merry Christmas. Uh, Once again, we are trying to invite Nupur and go live together. This is basically part of the series that I'm doing with fellow authors, trying to understand as to what work they are doing. Here's hoping that Nupur is able to join in soon. Yes, so I have sent, she's also sent a connectivity request, which I have accepted. It's absolute must. We are able to speak, hoping to have us soon. Hey, Nupur, have you joined? Can't see you. I Can you see me? No.
Yeah, I can.
Hi. Wish you a Merry Christmas,
Same to
Nupur.
you. Is this finally
Thanks.
meet you finally?
Yeah. Really happy to see you here live with us. So many followers. They have been waiting last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, in fact.
For the bad
Uh, I know. Maybe both of us have tried to reset our connection so that we are able to go live this amazing Christmas evening. I just wanted to, read out a small note about you, Nupur, if you allow me.
sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so Nupur holds a degree in English literature. She has traversed through various genres of romance, politics, travel, and now murder mysteries. A Soldier's Daughter, Divergence, Disturbed Death, A Love That Fell Apart, and Silent Murder are among her five eminent published works. One can presume that being an ex-army person's daughter was her motivation to deliver a novel that somewhere touches experiences from her own life. She has been able to carve a niche and style in the writing world, and she has manifested a lot of hold on her readership. She has a fan following which is in uh, thousands, as much as I can see, maybe in lakhs, which you would know, Nupur. And she has been able to weave words in a way that is utmost relatable and has a character development that vouches for engaging and attractive chapters. And I guess Silent Murder is your most recent work.
Yes, it is. It is my most recent work, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. I
That,
wasn't
would you
expecting.
like to say something else, Nupur, about yourself, like what you're doing right now and
Uh,
what is it that you're working right now on?
Actually, thank you so much for the introduction. I wasn't expecting such a wonderful introduction. Nobody
Thank
said
you.
about me ever before.
No,
But
no, what are you saying?
coming to your question, yes, I am working on another murder mystery. I
Okay.
don't title for it yet, but it is another murder mystery that hopefully should I should be able to finish in another 3 months' time. I hope. I
Okay.
had by the end of December, but I don't seem that doesn't seem to be happening, and
Okay.
I be getting anywhere with the book, but I hope for another 3 months.
All
I hope.
right. Okay. So I'm really, intrigued, Nupur. You are. It's such wonderful, to even think of authors who are dabbling into so many different genres, trying to kind of figure out their way. Or is it not really figuring out a way? It's like, like you actually relate to the characters and to the stories that you want to tell, and therefore genres don't matter at all. You want to say what you want to say, and therefore you come out with work which you can relate to, and therefore your fans will obviously kind of take on to that work.
Honestly, like you said just now, I kind of relate to all my stories and all my characters. The thing is, I don't really have a specific genre, and that's one. I just think of a story and I relate myself to it. Like you said, like The Soldier's Daughter is about the army was civil life. I'm an army officer's daughter, as in
So,
ex.
yeah.
So that that story was a similar like connection to it. Um, like Diversions and A Love That Fell Apart and right now Silent Murder, they all have a connection. I
Okay.
mean, very sweet, positive way. I
Okay.
do, I've always related to my characters somehow. My sixth one,
Okay.
yeah, definitely, there's a lot that I can relate to.
Okay.
But yes, like you said, I relate to all my characters and my stories. Yes, they do have a certain connection.
So, can we say that the stories that you're writing also have some bit of, reality, and it's not pure fiction, or you have weaved fiction out of some experiences in the past? How does it work?
Uh, I have weaved some sort of fiction into my stories because I don't want the people to know, who I am exactly as a person.
Right.
Yes, I have. There is some sort of fiction in my stories because I need people to sort of, go into a fictional world, in an imaginary world. I need that sort of connection with my readers. So
Right.
there is some sort of imagination in my stories as well.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Another thing I wanted to check with you was, so I'm actually, as I said, 5 works you've had, uh, exemplary in their own way, each one of them, and all different genres. And while you are weaving fiction, but some bit of it might have connectivity to your personal self, or stories around you that you've heard or seen in the past. So now, do you think it is going to be difficult to kind of hold on to one, for example, the murder mystery genre or the thriller genre? Would you want to now kind of hold on to it and work more and more in that direction, or you'll continue to kind of dabble into multiple genres?
Honestly, I don't really know. Uh, at the moment, yes. So my next book is definitely murder mystery. After that, who knows? I
Okay.
am that kind of writer who likes to sort of push herself and experiment on various kind of writings, and, various genres. I won't really know if I'll stick to murder mystery or maybe suddenly I decide, okay, maybe it's a love story time. I won't really know. I
Okay. Okay.
I, I am a messy writer. I don't have strict rules. I don't have a specific genre. That is one of the many things that the readers love about me because
Right.
it's so different and unique from the rest that I don't know. I think they love reading my work.
Absolutely. I have done some bit of research on your work over the last couple of days, and I see like it goes. I've seen some of the finest reviews which are there on your work, and the readers, like some of them really go gaga on what they have kind of experienced having read your work. My next question is basically, so how did you kind of get into this, into the whole writing thing? Is it like an innate, because you were an English literature student, so it came to you that way, or it was like it comes from within actually, much younger while you were? Did it come from within that way?
Actually, honestly, to be honest, in my wildest dream, I didn't think I'd be a writer or an author.
Okay.
I've in the past written for school magazines, but to become an author was actually my family's idea. It was a dinner table conversation that, why don't you write a book since you have that creativity in you.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, always thought I'd become a doctor or an engineer or, just be a simple housewife somewhere.
Okay.
I didn't really have this big picture that, I'll become an author one day, and I'd, be having like a reader's base. I didn't
Hmm.
know. It was just a pure dinner table conversation. And you know what? Give it a shot. see how it works, fail, success, just give it a yeah. That's how I got into right
Okay. That's
creativity.
quite a fascinating story, I would say. So, having got into English literature, obviously you would have read some of the best works in fiction as well as non-fiction. And after did you want to get into a PhD or something, or like now this is what you want to do? Read.
Oh, yes, uh, but I should study further. But to get to a PhD would be a dream. I won't
Okay.
say. See, I have my parents are doctors. My sister's an engineer.
Okay.
I've always dreamt of having a degree in journalism,
Okay.
PhD in literature. But journalism is there, like sort of an aspiration. I don't know if it will be a PhD.
Okay.
Maybe, who knows? But yes, there is hope. Who knows?
So, Nupur, what can actually happen is someone would do a PhD on the works that you have done and the work that you are going to do. So, it actually, the other day I was talking to Neil De Silva,
Right.
and he did say that a couple of students from MA, they are working on some of his works and they are kind of creating papers in different universities. So it happens to a lot of authors, and because you are such an accomplished author and you've been there now for I think what 7 8 years as an author, so even while you might not end up doing a PhD, somebody else will do some work on your uh, produced literature.
That would be great.
I
That is,
know,
as to do a PhD on me, that would be an absolute dream.
right?
Uh, like I said, you know, me, I am not a very studious person, but I do like reading and writing a lot.
Okay,
And like you mentioned, Neil De Silva, I know him, not
okay,
personally, but
right,
through social media. We've
right,
communicated off and on, and
right.
that he is a fantastic author. I mean, he has reached heights that I don't think I can ever reach, but I mean, I still do have time.
Yeah,
I
yeah, absolutely have time with you.
have to
So
learn and grow. But yes, it would be a dream if somebody did a PhD on me. Oh, that would
sure,
that
I know. I know. So every author would dream that. And Nupur, basically, amongst the five novels that you've written, which one really kind of connects with you the most?
okay. That's a tough question. I love all five. I do. Uh,
Okay,
it's like saying, no, try and pick your favorite child, like who's the favorite kid.
I know,
It's
I
so.
know.
Uh, my favorite book would be hands down A Soldier's Daughter and
Okay,
now Murder. These are the two
okay,
books that I really connect to. Actually, I'll tell you, A Soldier's Daughter, that it's really close to my heart because it's based on my personal life. There's a lot written in it
right,
that people know about. I mean,
right.
read it, know me now. But when it came to writing the book, I was so hesitant. I said, I don't know how it's going to be received. I don't know if people will appreciate the book. But yeah, A Soldier's Daughter. And again, I had the same mixed feelings about Silent Murder. I didn't really know how people would, accept it or not. But
Right.
yeah, who are my little children, you could say. My two,
Sure.
yeah,
It is almost like giving a birth to your own child. So it takes so much effort and time of yours.
it does.
So
It does.
yeah, yeah. So have you gone, you are like a traditionally published author. You've also tried self-publishing.
I am so far a self-publisher, as in I've always done self-publishing because I believe that it
Yeah,
was it's best that way because I have things under my own control.
right.
Like do what I want.
Right.
Traditional has its perks. It's not like it doesn't. But
Correct.
you know, when when you ask either self or traditional, I would say, you know what, do what suits you best.
Sure.
At the end of the day, what counts is the marketing and promotion because without
Right.
marketing base, nobody
Right.
knows who you are. It's like without my
Absolutely.
you didn't know who I was till you read up
Yeah.
about me online, did extensive research.
Right.
And you're like, listen, I need to get to know you better. That's how it
Sure.
is. So
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
well, it doesn't
And
really.
okay. So, Nupur, from your answer follows the next question, basically. I'm also quite intrigued by how you actually work on your marketing. So, how is it that you kind of get into the launch of a book? What are the preparations you
Oh, that's another good question because honestly, I have a solid, solid, strong marketing team.
do? Okay.
I have this Justin Events, who the backbone of Justin Events is Seema Saxena, who is my
Okay.
for marketing. She chalks out a plan for me right from online marketing to offline, which
Okay.
includes right from getting into media coverage to going to bookstores, putting your books on the shelves. That sort of marketing plan I had. It is
Okay.
tough. I mean, I had to literally chalk out a plan as to how to go about it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
when I talk about marketing, you have to have both online and offline.
Hmm.
With either your book
I
won't,
know.
your book just won't sell.
Right.
I had to chalk out a really strong plan for my book, which
Okay.
involved a lot of research, getting into trying to figure out you know which other author does what because it's
Right.
different edition.
Right.
So yes, my book involved going getting trying to ask the media like listen, do coverage on my book, and I
Right.
did launch as well during the just as the pandemic over.
Right.
I had a book launch, which was a great
Okay.
hit. But yeah, basically online and offline, it was a mixed bag.
Sure. Sure. So, do you really write to the market? As a lot of authors now globally, they actually read about a particular market and what really ticks in that market, what kind of work is really happening in the uh, traditionally published world as well as a self-published world now in that particular genre, and they write to the market. Or it's like you earlier said, no, it is me who I am, and I write what I want.
Um, you know, we always do what society tells us to do. The world
Right.
really, I don't know why I went off track, but to answer your question, I am my own. Because I know what the audience wants. I've been such a voracious reader all my life. So
Okay.
I know what the audience wants, what readers love to read. So
Sure.
I is from love story to adventure to murder mystery to I don't know those sob love stories that people read about or watch on television.
Right.
I know what my readers want,
Okay.
but I am my own writer and I write what I feel that the readers would like. But yes,
Okay.
I am a person. I don't really think what the readers want. I just
Hmm.
feel what I'm comfortable writing, which is what it should be in the end.
Sure.
So yeah,
Sure.
like if I had to give my readers advice or the upcoming writers advice, I tell them, listen, write what you like. Don't worry about the
Right.
audience because at the end of it, you have to market a book, right?
Correct.
Worrying about what the readers would want, or what society would want, you
Hmm.
never, right? You never will.
Right.
Just go
Because
with
you'll
them.
always be able to find your audience, right? So once you market, you'll be able to find your audience.
You will be chasing something that you at the end of it, you don't really know whether you appreciate it or not.
Sure.
You have to be comfortable first
Correct.
of what you want, right?
Right. So your creative self has to be happy having created a
Your
product.
that has to come out first. Forget the
Sure.
alternate, because
Right.
the which way you have to more than market your book, and it will.
Right.
But yes, you have to be comfortable writing your own work. If you're not comfortable, listen, then you have to question yourself. Okay, there's something wrong. There's a
I
question.
agree.
So yeah, I mean, firstly, you have to be comfortable, then worry about the audience later.
Right. So, Nupur, what is Nupur like as a person? What do fans, how do they relate to you?
If I had to, uh, I don't
So,
really.
what is really the Nupur character if she were a character in one of your works?
Uh, Personally, I'm a very fun-loving, sweet person
Okay.
who likes to. I think my weakness would be, couldn't care less about what people thought about her.
Okay.
Author, I think professionally, I am level-headed, very strong. Uh, really works hard at what she wants and gets what she wants.
Okay.
I don't really worry about what my critics say. I mean, of
Mm-hmm.
course, I take my criticism in a positive manner. I am an army officer's daughter by the end of the day.
Super.
One of my strongest points is just to listen to the criticism. Whether I take it or not is a different thing.
Right.
But I am my own person, and honestly, if you like me, you like me for who I am. If you don't, hey, your
Right.
loss, not mine.
You can't please everyone anyway.
You can't please
So,
everyone. It's
right.
difficult.
Right. So, okay. I have a picture about Nupur. So, and basically, how do you like going ahead? How do you envision the path? Like, are you getting into literary fiction? Are you kind of getting into some of those works also which challenge an author really to move beyond boundaries and create something really different?
Uh, I am the kind of person who likes to push herself out of her comfort zone. You
Okay,
know, it's very interesting when you said, like you have to push yourself to become different from the rest.
right,
I am because when you have this little soft corner or this comfortable zone, you will
right,
never experiment and get into something else. You will never know what the world is expecting. You
sure,
won't know what is new, what is happening. You'll be
right,
stuck in a corner somewhere in your own shell, not knowing
right,
what.
okay,
And people who's been criticized and bullied and
yeah,
given
yeah,
views,
right,
but these are the things that keep you going. I mean,
correct,
I am
correct,
so I pushed myself to the limit where that I literally say, okay, my best work. I've given it my all.
right.
And this is going to work.
I know it's absolutely. I'm getting extremely positive and self-confident girl who's fun-loving, as you said. Really, may I say, sassy and brilliant. So we are waiting to see Nupur really do extremely well with her writing. Nupur, what is your advice to? There are a lot of readers who can write actually, but they have not actually given a lot of thought to it, or maybe they are just daunted by the kind of work they need to kind of put in. So, what is your advice to those budding authors and the authors who kind of just come in with one book or two books out there and they're still waiting to see some success?
You know, uh, I remember I was actually watching a video. Ravinder Singh was giving something in
Fair enough.
interview. He said, everybody can write these days, and
Right.
everybody is an author. The bottom
Hmm.
line is your marketing. It's how you
Mhm.
market your book, And when it hits the shelves and you become known, that's
Mm,
when you're an author. So the advice I want to give my readers is listen, you can write what you want. You can become an author any day. But you can only call yourself an author or
mhm,
an accomplished writer is when people know you. So write what you want, start, no problem. Go
mhm,
ahead, doesn't matter. The minute you hit the shelves and people know you, that's when you can. And of course, yes, marketing promotions, be ready to take the criticism, be ready to be, get the positive side, be ready to cry, be ready to be, finally say, listen, I've given it my best, or this is my worst.
mhm.
Be ready for all that. It's not easy. We are still struggling to try
Yeah, yeah,
to do something.
right.
Yeah,
So, so for our readers, it would be interesting to know a small little fact that every single day in India we have 300 books that are being released. So, like Nupur rightly said, every single reader can become a writer. How you convert yourself from being a writer to becoming an accomplished author is the challenge. And
it is.
that's where a lot of work needs to be done. Also, like a lot of readers say, no, I'm a very introvert person. I can't market myself. I can't really go out and tell people that, hey, look at my work. But then, unless you do that, unless you, like Nupur earlier said, I also do offline marketing. Other than nowadays, quite a few people can do a lot of online marketing. But unless you go out there and meet your fans, how do you really relate to them and how do you kind of make them your fans?
It's so strange. After my first two books, nobody knew who I was, honestly.
Right.
When my third, fourth, fifth, actually, wait, I'll tell you, my fourth and fifth book hit the shelf,
Hmm.
only then people knew who I was because it was massive promotions and marketing. I had to push myself to actually, cross those boundaries, which I didn't think I'd had. And,
Right.
you know, my backbone, like I said earlier, Simak Sasena, she's a marketing lady.
Right.
Pushed me to the limit that said, listen, you have to push yourself, make a name for yourself. Marketing is the only way. And honestly, she is right. It works wonders.
Absolutely.
Know you. Yes, of course. I mean, till today, even though I can say, call myself, people say a best selling author, I won't call myself an author yet. I'm
Right.
still trying to find a reader's base. I have like a 5% 10% reader's base, but I am not as accomplished as a Chetan Bhagat or a Neil De Silva or Shashi Tharoor has worked so hard to get himself
Right. Right.
here. I am not a Ravinder Singh or Joy Datta. I mean, I would love to reach those heights, but I'm
Correct.
not there. I am still learning,
Right.
still working really, really hard to get to where I am.
Right.
Um, it's a lot of work,
I
and
know.
don't call yourself an author just because you've written one or two books.
Right. Right.
Till you hit the shelves, until you've really marketed a book really well,
Right.
don't call yourself an author. You don't deserve the
I,
title.
I agree with you, Nupur. So I was reading, there's a Facebook group which is basically 20 books to 50K dollars, they say. So,
Well,
which is where these guys, these are all mostly US based authors, and they say till the time you've written 20 books,
hmm.
you cannot earn $50,000 a year. That is one side. Second, they also say you should not call yourself an accomplished author unless you've written 20 books. So basically, it shows that you have to go out there and put in your play. You have to keep working hard at it. And you have to keep hitting the deck month after month, which is when, after a 5 year period, possibly you can call yourself an author.
Exactly. See, I'll tell you, I have authors who call themselves bestsellers. Even without, I mean, they've done their marketing and their promotions, but without having actually have a strong reader's base,
Mm.
I have authors to say, we're bestsellers because, we've got we've sold so many books. But in
Mhm.
reality, they've just given it for free. Literally.
Right, right,
And I mean, you don't know what to say. Like, okay, some people have
right,
said, you've written a book, oh, we're an author. Did you read my book? And I'm like, really? I've never heard of a
right.
thing. It's like we have, like you said, 300 books published each year. I'm sure
Right.
that more than
Each
300.
day, Nupur, each day. In India, we have 300 new books each day coming out. So that is the
Okay.
kind of numbers we are talking about, and only
So
1%
imagine
of those authors go
each
on to write the next book
300 books each minute or each day.
each
Where
day.
are we? I don't know. I
Right,
I think a percentage somewhere like
right.
hundreds or
True,
down
true.
because there. I mean, look, we're all accomplished. People come in and ask me, like, can we write a book? Can we do this? And I'm like, listen, you can write a book. You can become an author any day. You can publish a paper and say, listen, I'm an author of this paper.
Right.
But marketing and promotions, what happened then?
You have to find your reader.
Yeah, if you fail in your marketing
Right,
and promotions and don't have readers base, dude,
right, right.
I'm sorry. I know I'm being harsh, but that's reality, right?
You're right. You're absolutely right. If someone wants to actually become an author, he has to put in that effort and that time to market, apart from just writing.
Right.
Which is why then over a period of time you can then say and possibly have a base of clients or readers who continue to read your book after book. That's important to have your readers who wait for your work. So, okay, this book has been published and I go. For example, you rightly said the other people, you talked about Ravinder, you talked about Chetan Bhagat, and they're big guys because they have a base of readers who keep connected to them and they wait for their books. Okay, this new book is coming and whatever genre, whatever, they'll go and buy that book. It's important to be able to create that. Nupur, I also wanted to, of course, you wouldn't know about me. I reached out to you, but basically, what I have done is in the last 5 months, I have released 4 books in a series. It's all murder mystery.
Oh,
So, yeah, so my first book, which came out, was Two Indian Girls. Second book was Fatal Belief. Third book was Daybreak, which should have been the end of the trilogy. It's all three murder mysteries. But after that, I got a lot of emails from readers who actually went ahead and read the book. They gave me a chance. Okay, let us see who this new author is. And they told me that you've written that this particular Inspector Rajiv is a big guy from the first book itself, but you've not shown us how he's become a big guy. So why don't you write a prequel to this trilogy? So after this customer feedback, I went ahead and wrote Ritualistic Murder, which is a thriller in itself, and it's about basically why Inspector Rajiv became the guy for the police force. So all the 4 works are now out, and I wouldn't say I have achieved anything till now, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of hard work as far as marketing and promotions are concerned. Mostly offline, online right now, because offline promotions, because of the pandemic and everything, I have not really traveled, and I have a day job. So I really work mostly Saturday evenings and Sunday through the day, right in the late evenings for my next work. So I've already created 2 upcoming novels also. So yeah, there's an effort which is going on, and I, wish me success and best of, wishes basically, so that I also reach where you are today.
honestly, you, you don't really need the luck because I mean, I feel you already have a strong readers base, and of course, I mean, yeah, all the best for your future, and I hope you do really well. But listen, I think no author needs the luck because we're all doing so well, and we do have that kind of support from our readers who drive us in a certain way. It's like, listen,
Correct.
this is
Right.
what we do. The one question I wanted to ask you was,
Yeah.
since you've written 4 or 5 books in 6 months, how? I can barely write one book in 6 months. I'm struggling. You've written 6 books in 6 months.
No.
What do you want, caffeine?
No, no, no. So I'll tell you what. I am a big fan of Elana Johnson,
Oh,
who is not in the mystery thriller genre. She's more of a romantic comedy and romance genre author from the US, self-published author. In 2019, she went ahead in the 52 weeks in a year. She wrote 42 novels and she published 42 novels.
wow.
And, would you beat it? From a maybe thousands of dollars author every year before that, 2020 onward, she's $1 million because she's been able to put out so many works and people have gone crazy. Amazon algorithms have gone crazy because she's launching a new book every week. So the algos are helping her. Her book is being shown because every single book is coming out within the first 3 months. It's showing a new book has come out. And at least 20 novels are coming out, which is showing that it's a new work. And the Kindle Unlimited readers have just taken on. So she's minting it right now, but there's such a lot of hard work which has gone into it. We should realize.
I know. I mean, like every week, how does her brain work?
I
Like,
don't know.
then
I really don't know.
I have a full-time job. My brain starts functioning after 9 hours. I'm like, listen, I need my break. I don't want to look at the system anymore. My writing happens over the weekend, which of late hasn't been going too well. But
You'll
still,
catch up, I'm sure.
hats off to you guys. And I am impressed every week. Like, dude, what are you guys on? How do your brains function?
I am nobody, but I can tell you, I was talking to Neil again the other day, and he was telling me that at the present moment, he's working on 6 novels together. So there are four which will be adapted to screen, and he's possibly doing four different works directly for the screen. It would not come out as a book. And 2 novels he's simultaneously working on. So at a given point in time, he showed me his room where he writes. All across there were charts where something was scribbled. And he's working on 6 works together. So, which is what I'm sure Elana does. She's also working on multiple novels together.
Listen, Neil De Silva is a full-time author. That man is brilliant. I mean, I
Yeah.
would put category of Chetan Bhagat and Shashi Tharoor, who I don't know how those people function. I mean, honestly, I don't know why I'm going off track, but when you talk about brilliance, like writing, creativity flowing, I would definitely want to meet one day Kabir Bedi, who is
Okay.
my who is my all-time major crush.
Okay.
And of course, Shashi Tharoor, and I need to ask him, listen, how do your brains function, man? Like, what are you on?
Yeah.
Because these people, their creativity levels are brilliant. I mean, I know
Yeah.
friends are as authors, and I'm so awestruck about with their creativity levels. I'm like, how do you guys function? Because my creativity levels after 9 hours just stop functioning. I don't really know who you people are. I need a break.
Uh,
Listen, I
no,
don't know
no,
who
no, no.
my readers are. I don't want to look at the screen anymore. I don't want writing, no book, nothing after 9 hours. But listen,
Right.
you guys, if you can produce stuff in 6 months, like 6 books in 6 months, I can barely write one book in 6 months, yeah?
No, no, it's not that way. So for me, the first book took 5 years because I was not writing full time. I was more into like, okay, I got into a writer's block, and I used to believe there's something called a writer's block, and you will get into a writer's block, and then you have to stop for 6 months, and you have to kind of get back into the writing mode. So it took me 5 years to complete that first work. My dad is actually a professor of English literature,
Oh,
and he used to tell me, no, you're not going the right way. you have to kind of create a structure. What I used to say is, I have created my characters. The character will drive the story. He used to say, no, unless you have a structure, you won't be able to kind of funnel it down to the story where what is your end game really? And when you're writing a murder mystery, you have to have your end game. That's how you start writing. And I was like, no, no, my character will drive the book to its conclusion. And I took 5 years. But after that, I understood what he's saying is right. I need to kind of funnel it down. I need to figure out what is the end game. And therefore, from there, I need to kind of go back and plot it. So that's how I got back writing. And actually, then like 12 to 15 days I have taken to write each novel after that.
Wow.
And basically Saturdays and Sundays. Not really the other 5 days because I work 12 hours a day otherwise.
No, I'm in like awestruck right now. I'm like, wow.
And
Because
so,
I mean, like your dad said, you have to be structured. I'm
right,
not. My novel has already an ending because I know, okay, listen, character
right,
gone. हाँ ठीक है, this is a
right,
murderer, this is who police have got this one. Forget the beginning,
right,
forget, I already know my end. Full stop.
right, right.
Forget third. I have no clue as what my beginning will be, what my middle will be. Ending is
Mm-hmm.
very simple. हाँ ठीक है. The end,
Correct.
the cops are
Right.
in jail, full stop. That is my story.
Sure, sure.
I am not a structured writer if you would have to ask me. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely messed up in my head. I start with my ending, then the middle, and then my beginning comes in the end. So that's how I function. Backwards.
Okay, okay, okay.
I don't tell
No,
anybody. But yeah.
no, but most of the authors are very creative individuals and they'll always not want to get into a structure. So that's how it is. And it's difficult to actually control your urges to actually allow your character to blossom because you want to do something with your character. And if you start writing through via a character, kind of the protagonist who's taking a story to a different, place altogether, you need to kind of bring it down and control and create your end game. So I know it takes a lot of structure to holding on to your creativity sometimes. Like you rightly said, you do so much of marketing. So you've been able to plan and structure your marketing. And basically, over a period of time, you'll also want to slightly structure and plan your writing. But Nupur, I really look up to you. I've seen your work, the kind of, I've seen the people who've written about you in, and crazy fan following that I'm aware of. Some of them, at least, I'm sure they'll be all connected to you on your social media. So, you know, what do you say? Like, you've not written any work on, for example, I don't know, have you written something on women, uh, or it's all like different works completely? Uh,
A completely different work. Um, honestly, I I think a little differently. I am pro both men and women.
sure,
I fully choose a side because I feel each individual, each person has a story to tell. Each man, woman, child has a story to tell. Why would I
right,
want to side? I mean, these days we're all pro women. I'm like, what happened to pro men? What happened to
right,
pro boy or pro girl?
right,
Voice as well, right?
right,
Uh, I know there are people who are like, pro women, women should be this and women should be that. And I'm like, wait, why can't, doesn't a man have a voice? Doesn't a man have his side of story to tell? I
right,
mean, we live in a man's world. I know, I'm sorry to say it, but it is true.
right,
So, I mean, listen, we all have a voice, but each man, each woman, each child has a story to tell. Everybody has a
sure,
voice.
sure,
Don't
sure,
go pro this and pro that.
right.
Be gender neutral.
So interestingly, I was talking to author Aishwarya Pillai the other show, like a couple of weeks back. And her first book was on women emancipation. So I asked her, like, would you want to kind of continue working in the same direction on women, or there is something else that you're working on? So she said, no, it's not that I wanted to write something about women emancipation. It was a story which was very close to my heart, and therefore I narrated it. But it's not that I am uh, so strongly in favor of any of those things. I also work different. She also was saying that it's not my second work again for her was thriller and mystery. So she's working on other genres again. She's also done, I think, a lot of work earlier on non-fiction. So for other authors, that's how eventually she decided she should be writing herself. So a lot of authors with great creativity are coming into our market. And I'm sure readers realize that a lot of Indian authors are bringing very good work uh, now, and it's not only international authors that you need to read to. A lot of Indian authors have a lot of promise. So there's a lot of work out there that possibly is not getting the shelf space that they should be getting. Uh, so I was talking to an author from US, and she basically said that, see, in America, what has become so very important is American names. And the author name, if you are, for example, Kumar Kinshuk, why don't you do a pen name? Why don't you put an American name? And all your characters and all your places should be American. Then you'll be a super hit. So I said, but why should I change my name? And why should I really write about America? I'm writing about India. This is my place. And I'm bringing you stories from the real world. So why would I really need to change? She said, no, American readers, they don't like weird names. They don't like weird characters. If you write more about Americans, you'll sell more. And America obviously controls 80% of readers globally in English language. So I said, no, I cannot completely change myself. And pen name is something I would never consider writing possibly. Who knows in the future? But today, it beats me. I want to bring to you some real stories, some creativity which is possibly an Oriental and Indian creativity. Why should I only bring you what Americans want to read? They have to change the taste if they want to read some other readers also. So that's there. It's
Exactly.
difficult.
Like you said, you know, having a pen name or, having this like American audience. Two of my books have an American audience, as in I have American names in my books. It's very funny. I was like, I think it was last month, I think. I Somebody had interviewed me and said, but your plot is all US based and foreign based, and why not Indian based? I said, I am an Indian, true Indian, no offense, but I have a fascination for Americans. I mean, my other books are Indian based, not like they're not. But I said I got into this phase where I had this fascination that, I need to have American names and American background and an American plot. It was great fun. And honestly, I mean, hey, my book sold, so it's doing well, still doing well. And suddenly, um, my mom actually told me this a few months ago. She always does this to me. She's like, why don't you write it under a pen name? I said, but
Right,
why write it under a pen name? Why can't I market myself for who I am? Why would I want a pen name? What's the point?
right,
I mean,
right,
not ancient, or we're not in those days where, women are looked up down upon like, listen, you can't write as a woman, you have to write as a man. And
hmm,
honestly, I'll tell you, Sydney Sheldon, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is a woman.
right,
I think. When I first read the name, I thought he was a guy. It was so
right,
funny.
right.
Sheldon sounds like a guy's name. Till someone told me, like, listen, woman, she is a woman. I said, really? me. I said, "Oh, I thought
Right.
it was him." She's like, "No, Sydney Sheldon is a woman. It's not a man."
Hmm.
But it this idea of writing under a pen name. Listen, if you want to have your plot in a foreign land or in Indian land, you want to have foreign name. Who cares? Bottom
Sure.
line, the book has to sell. People have to enjoy it, right? Who
Yeah.
cares writing for the US market or the Indian market or with Indian names or American names? Who gives a damn?
Right.
Sell, right?
Right.
Either here or there. Good for you.
Right. Right. So that's what I agree with you. That's what I couldn't kind of, it was difficult for my palate. Why should I take a pen name and write? And for me, Indian characters are more relatable. So I'm able to write more easily. You've possibly spent some time in the US, and therefore, maybe those locations in the background and everything you would have been able to create easily.
Uh, well, I haven't really spent any time in the US at all.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
abroad. I
Okay.
am a completely Indian person who was born in Gwalior, brought
Okay.
up, uh, been living in Delhi for the last 6 years. I'm completely Indian. Just I find writing having an Indian background with Indian names a little dry for me. I don't know, my
Okay.
taste. I'm sorry. I don't
Right.
find here.
Sure. Sure.
Um, I have a fascination for the Americans. I'm sorry. I have a fascination for the Americans, the Brits. I mean, Indian. I love my Indians as well. But listen,
Right.
to writing, sorry, the
So
Brits and
how you were talking about your mom? She was asking you about the pen name and other things. So what does she do? Like,
elder. My mom is a doctor. She's a
okay.
pathologist.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Retired now. My father uh, served the army for almost 35 years. He
Wow.
retired as a lieutenant general.
Okay.
He's retired as in retired from the army, not retired from life.
I know. I know. I know. I know.
He's
Obviously.
a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Okay.
Both well-read parents. I have a sister in the US who's an engineer, and
Okay.
we often got asked, like, why didn't you guys become doctors? I said, you're kidding, right? Become doctor, that doesn't mean we have to follow suit, right?
Right. Do
It's
your
like,
own thing.
yeah, till date it's like the biggest joke of the year. Like, why didn't you become one? I was like, really?
I know.
But
So, and what's your hobby, your husband? What does he do?
uh, yeah, I am not married. I am
Oh,
single.
okay. Wasn't aware. Okay.
Okay, that doesn't really matter. Still single.
Sure.
Oh, husband. I don't
So
really
possibly
just
that's where also you get a lot of suitors and a lot of fans come.
no.
You'll get those fan mails and uh,
Sadly, my fan base, I think, women, an odd 1% man, 2% men. I don't know, but no,
okay.
my fan base is more women, and no,
Possibly you are underestimating the number of men who are your followers, team followers.
I, yeah, I don't really know. No,
Super. So is there anything you would want to tell your readers?
I would just say, listen, read books, don't give up. At least reading is my go-to place.
Sure.
Like for anything, it's like my stress buster. So just keep
Right.
reading, don't stop. If you do want to become an author one day, go ahead. Bottom line, listen, marketing and promotion does wonders. Not
Yeah. Nice. Super. And this Christmas evening, basically, what do you want to really gift them? The next book you're saying is still 3 months away. So do you also write blogs and
Uh, Personal blog, no.
okay,
Like a full-time writer, so listen,
right.
those hours is all work, work, work.
I
After
know.
that, I refuse to look at the screen. If somebody tells me, listen, go complete a book, I think I'd give him those murderous kind of looks and say, listen, don't you stare at the screen?
So I know silent murder where it comes from.
Yeah, no, honestly, at the end of the day, a good book does is my go-to place.
Sure. And what are your plans for New Year?
I haven't decided yet.
So a
Maybe
lot of people out there who are listening to you are waiting for your plans, so they could join you.
I don't have plans, sorry. I'm the boring kind, probably going to sit at home and spend
No,
the.
you earlier said you are the fun-loving kind. So
I am fun-loving kind, but I at the moment I don't really have plans as yet. I mean, I
sure.
probably my room trying to finish my book and say, listen, you will jolly well finish it. But I don't think I have any plans yet. At least I don't know. I'm not going to give it
No, I
a
know, I know. So all the very best, Nupur. It
thank you.
was great speaking to you. I'm
Same here.
really thrilled to have interacted with you and wish you all the very best for your upcoming work and for the new year.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
See you. We'll be in touch again. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.